In our latest installment of Hometown Heroes, I had the opportunity to meet with two men. Both are veterans living in Munising with a community who wanted to recognize them in a special way. Nearing the age of 96, Munising's Edgar Gage is a World War II Navy veteran.
The 130th CB Battalion. After boot camp at Camp Perry, Virginia, I was sent to Rhode Island. And after a couple of months in Rhode Island, we sailed to Hawaii. And I was 9 months in Hawaii, and then we went to Saipan where I was attached to the 2nd Marine Division for the invasion of Okinawa.
Also in Munising resides another Navy veteran. 88-year-old Douglas Myron served in the Korean War.
Went to Detroit to get a job. And I wasn't down there very long, and a friend of mine called and said he'd joined in the Navy. I said, I'm going with you. So I came back home, came back up here, went up to Marquette, signed all up, went in the service, did 4 years. Most of my time in the Navy, over 3 years sea duty. And most of that was over in the Japan. The Korean War was going on then, and we were operating out of Yokosuka, Japan.
Both have fond memories of their time in the Navy.
Normally it was not a dangerous situation, and I worked in the motor pool where I worked the weekdays and the weeknights, and when I worked nights, I had all morning to run around and explore. And
so I enjoyed every minute of the Navy. I loved the Navy. And actually, I was going to stay in the Navy, but my wife said, no, we're going home.
So Douglas came back to Michigan to work with the Ford Motor Company, but he wanted to go back to his real home.
So Detroit wasn't for me, wasn't for us. I guess I was just a youper, you know.
Douglas and his wife built their life in Munising. He continued serving his community in law enforcement, and after 40 years, retired as chief of police in Munising and served as an elected official for 27 years on the Elgin County Road Commission.
Munising's always been important to me, Munising, Elgin County, right? Community changing from when I was the police chief, for instance. Changing a lot. We become probably the biggest tourist attraction in Upper Michigan.
Edgar became part of the Munising community in 1948.
Well, I worked 8 years at Atlas Plywood. Then I worked at Munising Coal Company for 8 or 9 years. And then I went into my own heating business. And when I had problems with my back, I went to work a part-time job in the Forest Service. I was there for almost 23 years.
And with his late wife of over 70 years, the Gage family made Munising their home.
You know, my mom and dad were kind of they're from that Depression era generation, and so they were really tough people. And they lived through some tough times, but they always made do with what they had.
We didn't have a lot of money, but we never went hungry. We always had clean clothes to wear. They did what they had to do to provide for their family. And so a lot of times, you know, it was the hunting and the fishing and the trapping. It wasn't a hobby, it was subsistence. You know, they fed their family that way. And with the trapping, he sold the furs and for income. And so it's a very different lifestyle than what most people experience today.
By serving their country and community, Edgar and Douglas were shown appreciation this Independence Day with the honor of being the Grand Marshals in Munising's 4th of July parade.
I'm really pleased that he's being honored this way. He served his country in World War II. There's not a lot of World War II veterans still alive. He's not a guy who likes a lot to be in the spotlight, doesn't like that attention. He's more a behind-the-scenes kind of guy, and I'm really pleased that he's being recognized.
For 40 years, I led the parade with the police car. And now I'm coming back and riding right behind the police car as the grand marshal. So that's a big circle, I guess.